Thank you for joining this Ramp network and Pillar wallet. How do we call this? It's like help me find the proper word for this. It's not an AMA. It's more of a, how do you call this? Like a podcast? Is this a podcast?
Yeah, I think it's just two very exciting projects in this space, talking about sharing ideas, sharing thoughts on how we see the current space is developing and sort of what the opportunities are for lowering the entry barrier for new users, which I think is sort of a key part of both of what we do in this space.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you. So I'm joined today by Michael from Pillar and Jacques from Ramp. Obviously, I'm a representative of Pillar as well, but I will try to be neutral as a host. I'll try to be more of a bridge between the two. So you'll see me talking from the sidelines and they'll be leading the discussion. I'll be just forwarding the questions forward, just so you know straight away. So we have a couple of topics of discussions. I'm just going to briefly summarize some of the things that we wanted to talk about, just so you guys know, like you're prepared. We're going to definitely talk about Web3. We're going to talk about gas fees and side chains, everything related to that. We're going to basically be talking about Ramp Network, how what advantages they prove and how they accelerate crypto adoption, being able to buy with card and everything around that. And there's also the question of how does Pillar Wallet help users enjoy and have a better Web3 experience in general. So there's all these questions, and obviously we'll be sure to cover all of them in the following 30, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Sorry if there's any background noise, but I think we'll manage it. So let's kick into this straight away. Let's see what we have. So one of the biggest things is how Web3 is becoming a reality. There's lots of challenges and there's lots of solutions. So I just want to hear you guys' opinion on how Web3 is progressing and what can we expect from the near future. Jacques, I'm going to give you the stage first since you're the guest, I would say. So take it straight away.
Yeah, I mean, we have came a long, long way from even just last year, right? Like NFTs taken off quite dramatically, and I think it's an interesting case because the rise of NFTs sort of coincided with the interest from more traditional Web2 companies, which is interesting because for the longest time, us operating in crypto space, we're sort of banging on the doors of these companies, saying blockchain technology and cryptocurrency and DAOs and DeFi was going to be the thing that changes the world or how we operate things. But instead, what they found interest in are these funny NFTs, these profile pictures, these apes, right? And there are many, many companies in this space that see NFT as a good entry point for them and for their company to sort of start incorporating at least a part of Web3 technology. So I think this is where the growing direction is gonna um, uh, keep moving towards. And we see more and more companies using NFTs in creative ways. Obviously, gaming is a big use case for NFTs right now. So I think right now this is the best time for crypto adoption. I'm super excited to see what companies in the space are going to keep doing, finding new and creative uses for NFTs and hopefully other projects as well, like DAOs.
Oh, sorry. Well, Michael, I think this is the time for your opinion as well on the topic.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Jacques said as well. The NFT bringing people more than those people that were attracted by the DeFi, because the DeFi side, you still needed to have an understanding of, in the first place, what a token is. Why am I tokenizing these things? Then why do I have to just buy and sell these tokens? Then there are daisy chain investment opportunities. Whereas the NFT movement effectively managed to touch people in that it is something you see, it's an art. if you're an artist, you draw something. It's something, a picture, sort of thing, a representation of abstract ideas that you can see. Then people resonated with that. People, you can see from the entertainment world, whether it's rappers, actors, you name them, they gravitated towards it, and it managed to attract people that weren't quite won over by the Bitcoin, Ethereum, DeFi movement in terms of something that they saw tangible. And recently, the development of refi, regenerative finance aspect that came out of the DeFi world has taken it even further. I find it amazing where you can do carbon trading, and within 6 months or so, ClimaDAO can amass 50 million carbon offset, which they can lock up. All those sort of things, the regenerative finance angle is something that can build on the degens of the DeFi world and bring it to the real world. Something can actually have an impact on the real world as well, not just making revenues for yourself, but impacting the world around you from the goals of making a sustainable world for all of us. So I think it is going in a fascinating direction when you think of how when Bitcoin came out, then when Ethereum came out in the ICO craze of 2017, from a niche movement, gradually managing to get people bit by bit to over 100 billion locked in assets, and even more progressing and bigger organizations being interested in joining in. And I haven't even touched the metaverse in this, where things can go bigger. Shall I say over when I finish, or?
Yeah, no, you don't have to. I'm just don't want to interrupt you in case you have anything else to say. Yeah, thank you for both your insights and opinions about this topic, and it's actually related to this one, perhaps, since obviously the biggest popularity back 2 years ago, let's say, and there wasn't even that much talk about sidechains, right? Ethereum was this big thing, and it wasn't very expensive to use. Fees were pretty minimal; they were less than a couple of dollars at most. When fees got really high, they reached a certain, amount that would be unsuitable for some users, but many still had, enough resources to just like not care about the fees. But during the last 2 years, let's say, the Ethereum, first of all, Ethereum went times 10, more than times 10 now. And the fees followed even more substantially. So now we're looking at fees over $50, $60 for a simple transaction, on a good day. On a bad day, it can be even worse, So these sidechains have to be introduced. And the question really is, why? I basically answered it, but I hope you guys can clarify more on this topic that we're talking about. So why did gas fees influence the development of sidechains?
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, I think the cost is definitely the major factor. I think there is argument to be made where because the space is so limited, that you have to really be sure you want to make this transaction on Ethereum. There's a reasonable argument to be made for that maybe you don't need a transaction to be perfectly immutable. If it's not like a huge financial transaction, like for example, if you're not trading over $100,000 in asset on a DEX, and you only want to trade 10-20 euros worth of tokens, then maybe it's not such a good idea to be operating on Ethereum. But at the same sort of perspective, the reason why blockchain technology was so exciting, it was because of blockchain technology, we can make these international transactions at a very minimal cost, right? Bitcoin was the first truly permissionless global financial payment rail that did not require, insane amount of fees to transact, and it could be settled relatively quickly. and Ethereum added some nicety on top of that, and it gained attraction. When I hear this argument about people making about you shouldn't be making transactions on Ethereum if it's not an important transaction, I was like, well, that's kind of a limiting factor, and I think that's what the opportunity for sidechains came in, where they are able to like, hey, look, we're gonna allow you to make use of these technologies to do more interesting things, like developing a game application, like creating a DAO, all these other things that are possible once you lower the friction of transacting. And again, we see games becoming insanely popular on these side chains like Polygon, Binance, and obviously Avalanche is doing a lot of great work on the gaming side nowadays as well. Just lowering the transaction cost opens up a lot of design possibilities and a lot of application possibilities to emerge. So I think that's sort of why sidechains became so popular.
I would definitely agree with that. Michael, do you have anything to add on top of this?
Yes, because one of the premise of the blockchain is to make it accessible to the whole world, to make it easier. When your gas price costs you, say, $5 for argument's sake, and think of the those countries that the expenses are higher, or developing nations, where you might say $1 is worth X amount of their local currency. So $5 would mean maybe their monthly wage. So when you talk about deploying a smart contract or even staking on something which costs you $100, then that is by definition excluding the vast section of the world. So gas price has to come down, or we have to have alternatives to democratize blockchain accessibility to everyone in the world. Otherwise, it would be an exclusive domain of those, the haves, and the have-nots would still be excluded. So even from that perspective, we have to have a mechanism where gas prices are low. And we've even suffered from it from the pillar wallet perspective. When we added our smart wallet, Gwei was about 3 Gwei, gas price was about 3 Gwei on Ethereum, suddenly went up to 100 Gwei. So think of the friction that causes to our user base to get any smart wallet. And think of the amount of investment you have to put aside if you wanted to invest in any of, say, the protocols where you have a daisy chained opportunity to earn X amount of percentage, but you have to stake on more than one service. Think of the gas price that would cost you as well. So all these things would and should be mitigated by the sidechains and by the other EVM comparable services that have come to the market now. So yeah.
I just want to add to that. Like, I remember the first wave of DeFi, with Aave and all these exciting new DeFi protocols. A lot of people were priced out of it. And my analogy to that was, it was basically like a bunch of rich people playing poker games on a yacht. It's cool, it's happening. But, for the average person, we're just sort of sitting on the sideline, twiddling our thumbs, not being able to get in the fun. And I think, sidechains enable a lot more people to participate in DeFi. And I think, to Michael's point, again, blockchains making all these, the beautiful thing about Bitcoin and Ethereum is that they are a global network. So anyone from anywhere in the world could participate, but doesn't mean that everyone have the same level of resource requirements to participate. And these sidechains definitely lower the cost of participation, so that even if you only have €100 worth of Ethereum or Matic or Binance, you can still participate in these very innovative new financial products that are popping up versus having to pay like 100 just in gas fees in order to participate.
Agreed.
Interesting, definitely. I'll just add slightly on top of that. I definitely agree with you. Some countries definitely where the dollar is perhaps even more valuable than we perceive it. So these sidechains are definitely a saving to them. I noticed in a trend in the pillar wallet, especially the Polygon and other networks really prospered by these, the usual countries which you don't see as much on Ethereum because of the gas fees. So there's definitely truth in the data. If you do our research, you'll definitely see something like that popping up. And it's very interesting to see. And I think that's a great thing for crypto, because if we want to reach this mass adoption from the entire world, basically, you need to reach those faraway countries that perhaps aren't really perhaps don't have the resources to go into Ethereum and other expensive crypto just to learn some basic stuff. You can use sidechains for that. And then when you decide to go into it further, commit more, you can always go into the more expensive chains instead. So I definitely agree with what you guys were saying. Well, we have more things to discuss, so I'll be just jumping into that. And this is a ramp question, actually, which, Jacques, I believe you will answer quite well. And the question is, how does ramp network accelerate crypto adoption in general?
Yeah, I think that answer to that is quite simple. Is that we make it very easy. Right now, in order to get your hands on crypto, you sort of have to jump through a lot of hoops, go into exchanges. If you're someone new to the cryptocurrency space and you just want to get your hands on some Bitcoin or some Ethereum, or this application you want to interact with, you have to sort of go through the exchange process, set up an account, sort of figure out the complicated interfaces that usually comes with the exchange. And after you have purchased your asset, connected your bank account and things like that, you have to move that asset from the exchange off to your own wallet before you could, move on to using the application. With Ramp, we make it super simple, and by integrating all the payment methods that the users are familiar with, so that's credit card, debit card. We also do bank transfers. We're really hooked up. We have a lot of local payment methods supported in our application. So not only do we make that super simple, make it super familiar for users to use the financial payment systems that they are using day to day, we also make it so that Ramp could be used inside the application that needs it. So, for example, we are integrated into Axie Infinity, and for the vast majority of users of players of Axie Infinity, they just want to play the game. They don't want to go to exchange. They don't want to figure out. They don't want to put in a limit order. They don't want to get the, they don't want to deal with the complexity of an exchange. They just want to get the asset, and just so they could buy Axie to start playing. And that's what we do. That's what we do best. On Axie Infinity, there's an option for you to trigger the ramp widget, where you purchase the asset you need at the amount you want, deliver to it quickly, cheaply, and then the player could be on their way to playing the game. So we shorten that onboarding process by many factors, and we make the experience very simple, very straightforward, and we conduct that transaction in a very competitive market price.
If I add to that as well, one of the things that was attractive to us from Ramp's perspective is we were able to purchase crypto directly into sidechains, and I think Ramp were one of the first ones to do that, and that was really useful because at the time mainnet was very expensive.
Yeah, that's definitely also the case. We have been a leader in supporting sidechains and also layer 2 solutions. We see this as the direction that, so at least for the Ethereum developments happening, and it doesn't make sense for the users, again, if they're purchasing €100 of asset on Ethereum, then have to pay €100 of gas fee to bridge that asset onto a sidechain. It's just, it's not a sensible proposition. So establishing ourselves on the sidechain, supporting those growing ecosystems. We have an obligation as an operator in this space for quite some time to help push forward these adoption of these new technologies. So we are very, very happy we've been able to provide that support to our partner projects like Pillar to make it super easy for users to come on board onto sidechains.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something on top of that, since I agree with what you're saying, guys. The great advantage that Ramp brought to Pillar, especially that we look at sidechains, and that we were basically saying that there's no way we didn't have a method of staying decentralized while deciding to buy tokens on sidechains. Let's look, for instance, if you wanted to do so before there was Ramp basically integrating these sidechains. So you had this issue where you basically had to buy through mainnet if you wanted to stay decentralized. Then you had to bridge from mainnet, from Ethereum mainnet, obviously, to some other chain, and that would be super expensive. We're talking about hundreds of dollars worth of fees. And like, it would be very unfortunate that at the time, a centralized solution was a much cheaper way to obtain funds. But now that's gone. Now you can finally stay fully decentralized and fully safe without needing to go to these centralized solutions where you basically don't control your funds. You'll be able to stay here, keep your funds, and enjoy the low fees because you can buy with Ramp directly onto the sidechain you want to use. And that's a big advantage. Now, following on, Ramp and advantages, this is also one of the Pillar's advantages, obviously, as we help users enjoy a better Web3 experience. Ramp is one of the reasons why. And Michael, I'm sure you know all the reasons why users are enjoying a better experience using the Pillar wallet.
The main advantage of the Pillar wallet is the fact that it is multi-chain. When I say multi-chain, it is available on all the EVM compatible chains. And this is enabled because the Pillar wallet uses the underlying SDK called Etherspot, which makes all this available. So Pillar wallet consumes Etherspot, which gives access to any other sidechain. And what is the big deal about this? Well, the big deal about this is if I open up my Pillar wallet, I can see all the assets I have on the different chains just like that without even changing connections. So from my smart wallet. And if I go deeper into the underlying Etherspot, what it gives me even more ability to do that. It gives me the ability as a user to actually, I'll give you a use case. I can have some assets on AVAX and I see something like a DAO I want to stake on Polygon. Think of the process that I have to go through right now. I have to convert my local, say, AVAX into USDC, bridge it to Polygon. Once I bridge it to Polygon, buy the token for the DAO that I want to stake. Then, oh yeah, if I haven't got any Matic for the gas price, buy that and stake. And all this would take about 9 steps. And in the process as well, I have to switch networks because at the moment, one dApp, one blockchain. There is no other to say, I can just switch around blockchains without when I use more than one dApp. So when I use this Etherspot integration, I still use one of the bridging tools to bridge the token, which is AVAX, into Polygon. Then everything else will be batched for me through Etherspot. Everything else will be batched means I do not need to have the interaction as before. So everything will be batched in terms of the conversion to Climate, to whatever DAO token this is, the conversion to Matic. And instead of me being involved to sign some 9 times, I will be done with it in 2 or 3 steps. Now, this is a huge usability. This is what the Pillar wallet can achieve as well because it is based on Etherspot. As things stand, you can directly go to any sidechain using the Pillar wallet. Pretty much, when I say any, quite a lot of them, they're available within Etherspot, and I can just stake and trade on any of them. So usability is the main thing. And by the way, with this storyline I've told you, just take it as an alpha leak, as something that will be announced in the coming few days. Thank you.
Nice, some alpha.
Yeah, usually during the community calls on Pillar, I'm the one who alpha leaks everything. So it's a it's a blessing that Michael finally does something instead of me. Unfortunately, he did this on purpose. Usually, I alpha leak things on accident. So okay, let's.
I did it accidentally. Oh, did I just say it out loud?
Yeah. Basically, that's how it goes usually. But lucky it's not me this time. Okay, so I think the last topic of discussions before we move on to the community questions, which we have handpicked in the meantime, is this is a both question, and it's the current. We currently have this very special event where we have 0 fees for users buying crypto with cards on Ramp using Pillar. So how does the 0 fee update for users buying crypto with card affect their experience? How does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think the beautiful thing about the 0 fee is that, especially if you're buying stable coins, you sort of get like a 1-to-1 um, from whatever's deducted from your bank account. Is that amount shows up exactly on your wallet. I think that's a very. I think when people do the obviously we're a business, we have to charge fees. That's how our business model works. But having the 0 fee campaign really showcases that you could have move your assets from your traditional financial institutions onto the blockchain seamlessly and frictionlessly. I think that's a really cool feeling to have, to be able to see your money move from, again, your bank account onto now the blockchain. And now you can start interacting with these exciting projects, participate in a DAO, participate in DeFi protocol, buy an NFT, play a blockchain game. And obviously, nobody likes to pay more, so having 0 fee is just a good time for everybody.
I agree, and if I add to that, we've mentioned a lot of people that play games on the different blockchains, and think of where the various people are from. Every cost matters. So the more you minimize your cost in terms of if it is play to earn game or even to make an investment, the better for you as an individual. So the 0 fee is quite helpful and it's something to take advantage of. So I would really advise you guys, go in, use this opportunity to not pay any percentages on your purchases of crypto.
Thank you. Jacques, do you want to add anything on top of that? I see your mic is on.
No, I think Michael got it right, hit the nail on the head.
Okay, great. So that's actually the topics of discussion that we had. Now we still have time for the community question. So I'm just going to open the stage for the community if they want to raise their hands, if they want to ask any questions. We have.
Can I ask one question though? I mean, I have seen it before as well in terms of what
Okay.
you guys want to do with Metaverse, etc. And I don't know whether you guys noticed it. Jacques' job title is Chief Meta Officer. So I thought that was fascinating. Also, tell us what you guys are thinking in terms of the Metaverse and your title as well, how that relates to it.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously in Ramp, we are the exclusive online for Axie Infinity. That's sort of, we shot up to the spotlight along with Axie as well. We just signed a contract with DeFi Kingdom as well as Pegasus. So those 3 projects account for the majority of the blockchain gaming transaction volumes. So we very heavily invest in this blockchain gaming space and the broader metaverse space. So my role at the company is sort of help devise our strategy moving forward to see where the space is moving and make sure that our product is keeping in line with the evolving need of these projects. So for example, one of the things that we're going to roll out very soon is a direct NFT purchase, which again just going back to our core of lowering the barrier entry to users. So in the future, instead of having to first purchase an asset before you could purchase an NFT game asset to play a game, you could just directly purchase the game asset with your credit card, and just cuts down the number of steps. And then there's also other parts of the metaverse that we do want to take into account, like for example, 3D virtual environments. You don't want to have like a 2D interface in a 3D environment. It just really breaks the experience. So our team is working on, um, can't disclose too much, but our team's working on a brand new interface that fits in with the theme of the 3D environment and just make that interaction very natural. And then moving even further on, when we do get to a future where VR is a sort of a everyday normal thing, we would then sort of translate what we have in the 3D environment into this virtual reality environment. Again, just to make that interaction between your traditional payment systems, so like credit cards, into those virtual reality environments seamless. Because when you have a VR goggle on, it's not the easiest thing to put in your credit card information. So that's sort of the things that I spend my day thinking about. And obviously, we talk to a lot of projects, listen to their needs, which direction they're going, and making sure I translate all that feedback back to our product team to develop the best product possible for our partners.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of cool things coming up. So definitely keep an eye out for on the Ramp Twitter.
No, you heard them, guys. So be sure to get a quick follow up and just follow Ramp and Pillar on Twitter just to keep up with everything happening interesting around these stuff if you haven't already. So now we move on to the community questions. I'm not seeing any hands raised right now, unless it's bugged for me, but I don't think so. So we'll be going on with the first with the first question out of the three that we have handpicked. So the first question comes from Crypto K, and a lot of numbers after that. Why did you choose a partnership between Ramp and Pillar, and how will both of the projects help each other build an ecosystem?
I kind of touched upon that earlier on, in that when we chose Ramp, one of the biggest things that they did different to others was being able to purchase crypto directly into sidechains. They were one of the first ones to do that. And with how expensive it was on mainnet, the bridging, the gas price that you have to pay, we went with Ramp, and it has been a good move for us as well. And the ability to be able to send your funds directly to sidechains goes with our multi-chain aspect, where we're actually facilitating for projects not even to bother deploying in all the sidechains, because with Etherspot, which is the framework that Pillar is built on, allowing you to bring traffic from all the sidechains to your project where your project is deployed on, through the mechanism I described earlier on, where we can do the batching, etc., and it can come to you. The traffic can come to you for cheap. So being able to purchase cryptos on the sidechains is a massive thing for us.
Yeah, like Michael said, we saw the opportunity with what Pillar's doing, supporting the sidechains, and sort of their easy use to their wallet software. Again, our main focus is on making sure that entry we and Pillar are the entry point for a good number of people. So working together, we want to lower that barrier entry into this ecosystem. I'm sure anyone who has joined the crypto space recently realized that interacting with applications, interacting with projects in this space is not the easiest thing. There are tutorials out there are information out there, but a lot of them are scattered. They are maybe not the most coherent way possible. And we want to sort of, instead of having the user find these informations, translate that into a superb to super easy to use user experience, so that you don't even have to think about what the next step might be. You just sort of guide it through this process. So working with the Pillar wallet, we managed to lower that barrier entry to our users and to Pillar wallet users, to bring more people on board into this very exciting and growing space.
Just to add to that, guys, it is still time for you to take advantage of the zero gas fee service exchange services at the moment. The zero payment for purchasing crypto, no commissions paid. And you can download the Pillar wallet if you haven't got it. And you do not need to use the mainnet deployment. On Polygon, it's auto-deployed for you. On, I think Gnosis is auto-deployed for you. In the other side chains, you have the wallet, but it's may not deployed until you need it to. So it's not late. You are on time. Go and use it.
What Michael was trying to say is that we're still all early. So go get yourself some crypto. Fee free.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so there's a couple more questions. And here's a question from CryptoK as well, which was a very good one. Do Pillar and Ramp Network have any plans to catch up with Web 3.0 trend? If yes, can you tell me more about them?
I'm sure Jack just went through that with the Metaverse, but he can add more to it, I suppose.
I think I sort of spill all the beans when I talk about the Metaverse. I mean, obviously, Web3 is still like it's a insanely, crypto in general is an incredibly fast-paced space. So this week is NFT. We don't know what's coming down the pipeline. We've been hearing a lot of mumbles about layer 0 technology. We're investigating those things. I think my interest right now, I can't speak for like the company as a whole, or just personally, I'm quite intrigued on layer 0. Bridges has been a pain point for the industry as a whole. If you look at Rec.News, the top 10 biggest hacks are basically all bridges. So if we manage to figure out bridges, I think that's going to open up a very interesting, it's going to start a very interesting period of time of innovation for crypto again. So that's sort of like my area of interest at the moment.
Yep, I mean, easy transfer of assets between the different side chains and blockchains. And in fact, for me, more than that, I would like to see the eBay of all DeFi and crypto services, where I get all of them on one viewing, and I can press, oh, I like this service. It doesn't matter whether it's on Avalanche, Polygon, or even Solana for that matter. As the user, when I click on it, the dialog comes up and says, okay, you've got this many different assets on the different chains and side chains, and it would show me the optimum route and the cost, and I just press this one, and my investment is made on whichever side chain it is, without me having to change connection to go and press 50 million things. As a user, especially as a newcomer, my job is not to read up about blockchain and the ins and outs of it. I've got a day job. I just want to use the service and just earn some interest and profit. So that's how I would like to see it. And I can see how this then manifests itself and becomes useful in the metaverse as well. Because think of the very many things that can happen in that virtual reality world. So that's my kind of take on this. And by the way, Ethersport would help us quite a bit in achieving that. And you will see that in the coming few weeks and months in some of the announcements and partnerships.
Yeah, exactly. So I see 2 hands are raised, but we still have one last question that I wanted to read out. And basically that question is tied to an announcement I believe you have, Michael. So we'll do that first. I see your hands are raised, Crypto Bias and Hillary. Don't worry. You'll be there just in time, just as soon as we make the announcement and answer the last question. The last question is from Sirin Chika, and the question is, will there be any plans to expand Pillar token to networks other than Polygon? So, Michael, I think you have a lot to say about this one, since, there's a couple of things to say about
Yeah, I mean, the Pillar token is available, I think, even on Binance, if I'm not mistaken. Correct
Well,
me if I'm wrong,
I don't
Dennis.
think you can find it on Binance.
So, the Pillar token is available on more than Polygon. But
Oh, you
the
mean
main,
Binance Smart Chain? So I thought you said Binance, so that's why I'm confused. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We are on Binance Smart Chain. We are on Polygon. We are on Gnosis Chain, obviously Ethereum, and I believe we are on Avalanche, but I need to confirm this. So we are already on multiple chains other than Polygon. Yes.
so as far as the token is concerned, we are available on all those. As far as our services is concerned, we are pretty much technically available on all the side chains. They may not show up in the wallet, but Etherspot does show them, and we have that interaction. And when I said this distinction, the Etherspot can be consumed by other dApps as well, not just our wallet. So that's why. So in terms of our inherent service, it would be available on all the side chains and hopefully non-EVM chains as well in the coming months and maybe few months time. So that the dream I have mentioned earlier on, one view, I can invest on any given service without having to go through hoops. That's what the dream, the vision is.
Thank you, Michael. I believe you have the announcement on. Should we leave that just for the ending and let the two hands raised answer? Give the questions out.
Yep,
Okay.
I'm fine to leave it till the last minute. So
Okay, sure. So I don't know the order of things. Sorry, guys, if one of you was raising the hand sooner. Crypto Bias is going up first. I'm going to give you the permission to ask the question, and I'm adding you as a speaker now, so you'll be able to ask the question. Oh, here we go.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Any questions?
Yeah, good morning. Hello.
Hello,
hi.
yeah,
Good
I
morning.
hear you. What's the question? We're doing good. We're very short on time, so
Yeah.
we definitely should know the question.
My
What's up?
question is that I've heard a lot about this pillar. I knew that you have pillar wallet, right? Hello.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not understanding the question fully.
Okay, there's a pillar wallet, but concerning your token, how can we get the token? Because I haven't heard about pillar token for a long while. It's just only the wallet that I know all about. And do you have contract address yet?
The pillar token is if you have the wallet, the pillar token is available in pretty much all the dexes. So you can get it from any of the dexes available out there on mainnet, on Polygon, possibly on Avalanche, on BSC. You can get it if that's what the question is.
But concerning, okay, like me now, I'm an investor and I want to invest in your token. What are my benefits of holding your token inside wallet?
Having the token allows you to benefit from some discounted services within the wallet. Some services within the wallet do have a commission attached to them, but if you do have the pillar token, you would have a discount on those service charges. And one of the other things is, well, Pillar has a 24-hour support service, and those people with X amount of token holders do have the preference in having the priority given to them when and if they have any queries to the support team as well.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of trending concerning NFT now. Did you have any program concerning pillar NFT or bringing up NFT in the future?
Yes, we do have an NFT, and maybe I should make the announcement here as well, Dennis.
Yeah, I guess so. Go ahead,
So,
Hillary. Sorry, we're postponing it a bit more, but you'll be the sugar and cream on top at the ending. You'll be the last one giving the question and the speech.
so yeah, we have a special list for all the NFT Genesis holders of the Pillar One, and we have an NFT raffle coming up. And one of the benefits, this is one of the benefits of the Genesis holders who store them in their Pillar wallet. So we call it all in Pillar Wallet NFT holders will have the opportunity to enter in this raffle from the 3rd to the 24th of May. And you stand a chance to win a large prize paid in DAI stablecoin on the Polygon network. So don't miss this great opportunity, and stay tuned for official announcements on our social media channels. So if you check our Twitter, we will give you more of the details, but we do have a raffle for our Genesis NFT holders where you can actually win some prize in DAI. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And finally, Hillary gets the chance to get to ask the last question. So I'm adding you as speaker right now, and I think you should be able to say hello. Hillary, I believe we need the question now. You should be able to have speaking permission. Just unmute your mic and ask away.
Okay, thank you so much, and I'm delighted to be here. I was invited by my friend Vlada, who told me that this Twitter space is currently on, and most especially it revolves around my area of interest, Web3. So I had two questions. The first has been answered, which is about, I wanted to know if there was staking options and what the plans for the future of Pillar is, talking about the roadmap and the usability, but that hasn't responded to. So the second question, which I have yet unattended to, is talking about Web3 and how it is revolutionizing several sectors of the world, talking about decentralization, talking about ownership, and all of that. So my question now becomes, are there plans for the Pillar project towards expanding its user base in some continents, most especially Africa? Because if you look at the global trading volume, worldwide, you notice that a country as example, Nigeria is occupying the second in world largest trading volume. So the question becomes, are there plans to market this very much beautiful product to these other countries of the world, most especially Africans, such that they could also leverage on the use cases for this project?
We would love to collaborate with projects based in Africa who understand the needs and the behavior of the market. And so, for instance, in the past few days, we were discussing with projects based in Asia who were trying to utilize our smart wallet in terms of integrating it with their automated communication tools. So we would love to do the same with projects that are operating in the African continent, because they would have the understanding of their market base and how to take advantage of our technology and the network that we have within the space. So if you do have any projects that are interested, please send them our way. We will be more than happy to listen and collaborate.
Okay, concerning that, I would share my ideas with Vlada, who we could probably discuss the next steps to take from here.
Cool, awesome.
Well, on top of that, I guess we can finally close it down. It's been 55 minutes of this one, so it's been a little longer than I expected. Hope you guys enjoyed the extra time that we had. So I'm just going to use the last minute of being a talker, being a host, being a speaker, just to remind you guys that we do have the ongoing NFT campaign still, and you can find it directly on our website. If you go to pillar.fi, you can go just on top of the page. You'll be able to grab your NFT, and you'll see everything. Everything is explained on the website. So if you're curious about earning a unique NFT, there's only 256 of them, and I'm sure you guys will be interested in them, obviously. We'll be making an announcement about that, I think, today or tomorrow. We'll be mentioning that, so you can always just follow our Twitters and stay tuned to that. With this, I thank you, Michael. I thank you, Jacques, for being wonderful here today. Lots of topics of discussion. I think people learned something new today, especially surrounding, how to get crypto easily, how to keep your crypto safe. And obviously, they have found two great platforms they can use to make their crypto experience a lot better than before. So thank you guys for joining us. Was very exciting to host this one, and I hope to see you again sometime in the future. And that's about it. Thank you.
My pleasure. And Jacques, thank you as well for being in panel with me.
Yeah, happy to be on. Nice talking with you, Michael, and happy to be engaged with everybody.
Thank you. So just last say, with the recording will be uploaded to Twitter, I believe, but it will also be uploaded to our YouTube channel. You'll find it. We'll definitely share it on Twitter as well. So if you guys wanted to catch up on something that you missed, or if you joined late, or if you just want to hear something again, you'll be able to do so tomorrow on our YouTube channel, most likely. So be sure to check out that as well. I wish you a pleasant day or evening, depending where you're listening from. And that's it from us. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.